You know, I like keeping my brain marinated just with the right stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely grab a few non-hip-hop ones just to, like this Al Green record right here. Some of the most iconic hip-hop samples are on this album, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take that. Peace, yo, this is Lord SKO, the Newport Lord, Jeff Hardy, Derelict Jeter. We out here digging for classics at the Okayplayer Lounge. Let's get into it, man. This right here, shout out to my man Mac who hit me to Doom. You know what I'm saying? I got hip to him really over the pandemic, a couple months before he passed, but you know, it was one of those things where I instantly really connected with his music. And once I heard his approach to rhyming and just, you know, the beats he was using, it really gave me a more clear idea as to like what I wanted to do, and the fact that you could do that. I see another obvious pick for me right here. Shouts out Raekwon the Chef. Got the opportunity to open for the God last year, April 19th, 420, you know what I'm saying? Raekwon is the absolute definition of a New York fly guy. Shook One's single version, for sure. First time I really had my own music, my father had given me an iPod that had all types of music, you know, dating back to like the 80s and 90s, a lot of classic rock on there, a lot of, you know, the most popular hip hop, like Biggie, Eminem, DMX, Jay-Z. I remember like the Jay-Z Linkin Park joint was on there, some of Eminem's hits, some of DMX's hits, you know? So that was really the first time I had music, and I remember gravitating towards it, really specifically hip hop, because I'm a very visual person. So hearing the way that, you know, rappers was describing everything, it was very easy for me to visualize it. Whenever I read and think of words, they turn into pictures. So it was much easier to do that with hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Most new music, probably Instagram and TikTok, and people would send me stuff. Shout out Statik Selektah too, because you know, I go to his show a lot, Shade 45, but he always plays the new shit. He might even play it early, so you know, I might go in there one week and be like, what was that? He might hit me with the, yo, that ain't even out yet, you know what I mean? So I definitely go hear a lot of the new shit that gets played on Thursday nights with him. But you know, I'm a little too chronically online too, so I see a lot of shit popping up. I'm somewhat of a little A&R myself. If I catch someone with a fly video or something that ain't that well known, I'll probably spread the news a little myself. Yo, you heard this shit, what you think, you know? Okay, this is another obvious one for me right here. Definitely one of my first albums that I ever really gravitated towards as a kid. Came out 2013, I was only 9 years old, so it was definitely a soundtrack in middle school, you know what I'm saying? Joints like swimming pools and, you know, money trees, all types of that was really, really introducing me to hip hop. You know, this is also, I think, a great version of an album where it sounds very engineered to be played in stadiums and on the radio and all of that, but he didn't lack on any content, the storytelling, still super dope, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, gotta take this, shout out Be Real, Soul Assassin Cypress family. That's a no-brainer. Now I'm Under Pressure, Childish Gambino. I really love his early mixtapes where he just was rapping about being a weird dude in college, but he was spitting, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, we got The Lox, woo! Money, Power, Respect. This is a certain one that we need right here. My favorite album artwork of all time. It's a really good question. I mean, a lot of the ones behind me I'm big fans of, but I feel like they have also just kind of like ingrained themselves into my brain as iconic. But you know what my favorite album cover of all time is? I got two. I'll do Graduation, Kanye record, and I'll do Man on the Moon, Kid Cudi, the first one. You know, like there's just so much detail in both of those. You know, I used to, like bears are like one of my favorite animals. So I remember like seeing like the college dropout bear and stuff, like I always thought that was fly. And especially like seeing him like with a whole varsity jacket, and you know, I love the color purple. So that one naturally like, you know, kind of spacey. You know, I think it's, it combined like a lot of really like cool things. You know, the Japanese influence on there is really dope. And with Cudi, like, you know, they kind of like worked his face into the moon. Is like, you know, it's really like artistically executed, especially within the theme and the concept of the album, you know, with like Common narrating and like, You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was so ill. Like he just was like, it really like, you seen it and you're like, okay, this is dope when you look how you sound and you sound how you look. And when someone talks to you, it's how you rap. Like it's all of that goes together. It's one package, it's a brand, you know what I'm saying? That's an easier question for me, I feel like, than a lot of people think. Probably Pimp Socks, I feel like that's a quintessential record of mine, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's almost like a song that like advertises just me as an artist. Like that song is like, I feel like this is Lord SKO. It's a really great example. Like if you want what you're getting from me, like that song is that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel good about that. But I got this joint called Robin Hood on my new shit. It's a little different, but I also feel like I still maintain my artistic identity on it while making a joint that's really fly and just sounds really good in no matter what setting you're in, you know? So if I was making a playlist with my joint Pimp Socks, I would put All Caps by MF Doom and Madvillain. I would put One, Ghostface Killer, Supreme Clientele. $500 Ounces, Westside Gun featuring Rock Marciano and Freddie Gibbs. I would put Waves, Joey Badass, 1999. Allure, Jay-Z off the Black Album. Oh, 3 Feet High and Rising, we need that. I listened to this off acid when I was in like freshman year of high school. Before it was on streaming, had to go to YouTube for the shit. Shouts out to De La Soul, man. Rest in peace to Dave. Ooh, this one's one of my favorites. I remember the night it came out, listened to it with my sister. When you listen to this for the first time, it really blew your mind. It was an experience and you got what he was putting down. You know, it's really telling the story is like the bright synths and you know what I'm saying? Like all of the beat changes representing the changes in emotion and the swings in the relationship. Great record. You know, I like keeping my brain marinated just with the right stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely grab a few non-hip-hop ones just to, like this Al Green record right here. Some of the most iconic hip-hop samples are on this album, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take that. Shouts out to Al Green. You got the one I'm gonna take. Shout out to Blonde Frank Ocean. I feel like I gotta take this because it's iconic, you know what I'm saying? I would be a fool not to do so.
So like pick 3 and tell me about those 3.
We're gonna start with Madvillain. You know, like I said, that's like my favorite hip hop album of all time. Like when people are like, yo, you can take one record with you, like there's 22 songs on there. All Caps, obviously, Money Folder, Strange Ways, Fancy Clown, Great Day. Like this is the blueprint for like all alternative underground hip hop in my opinion. This right here, this is the blueprint for getting fly, doing all of that, you know what I'm saying? New York shit. Fucking low coats, icebergs, jabots, fucking Avorexes, Pellies, leathers, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like this, Wallabies, fucking what? This is the Get Fly manual. This is the fucking purple tape right here, you know what I'm saying? But now let's go with one that is of my time. I'm gonna go point up to that. Good Kid, Mad City. I got a lot of core memories with that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of the first, like, hip-hop that I really, really gravitated towards, I remember like the 3 hip-hop albums that I went and listened to, like, on my own, just because I was seeing them, and I was like, I need to listen to these 3. Graduation, Good Kid, Mad City, 2014 Forest Hills Drop. You know, obviously all the extra research I did and getting recommendations to me from friends, older, younger, whatever. But those I remember, like, I really found off digging on my own, you know what I'm saying? And that was just like a good feeling. So great. It's just so well executed, the storytelling from top to bottom. Like, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. I feel like that album, like, was almost like hand in hand with GTA 5. You know what I'm saying? So he was playing in GTA in Los Angeles, listening to that shit all at the same time. And it was like a world, bro. It was like a whole world that just existed, like this like imaginary like idea of Los Angeles being like this like gang banged out, like ill, like just West Coast, like, you know, like just ill. And I'm from New York, so, you know, I just remember like the first times I went to LA, like it like brought me to that like just place, that imaginary image of LA I had created through a kid, through, you know, Good Kid, Mad City, GTA 5, and just other movies that my young mind probably should not have been consuming. Peace, yo, it's SKO, and I just finished digging in the crates at the Okayplayer Lounge.